Neal here. Just Neal here. Welcoming you to 2026. Guys, it's a year for transformation. For those of you who have been following me, following my posts, you have seen me say a couple things. One, you have seen me say that it's the year for transformation. It definitely is. Two, you have heard me say that it is a year to do it anyways. And three, you'd hear me say it is a year for you to truly be yourself, truly be you. All right, and I'm going to get into like these three things, why I'm saying it, and why it is actually crucial for you to actually do this, because life has an interesting way of squeezing us into positions and pushing us into places that we refuse to go willingly. Last year, astrologically, was the ending of many cycles. Many cycles. Cycles that had nothing to even do with you. Generational cycles, let me put it that way. Alright? Cycles that maybe started with your great-great-grandparents. Things that they would have been struggling with, and you looked and you saw that your parents, your grandparents, and you struggled with it for most of your life. I'm talking to persons who are particularly within their 30s and 40s. Alright? Older folks, yes, they would have experienced it, and I mean the time now they will get the tail end of this, or I should say they will get the beak, the tip of it, this new experience that we are going to as a civilization, as a race. But for persons that are in their mid to late 20s, into their 30s and their 40s, persons in that demographics are really going to be the ones who are going to benefit from this renewed energy that's coming into the planet right now. And last year was year 9. 2 plus 2 plus 5, 9. And this year is year 1. That's up to 10, but the 0 doesn't count. So it's year 1. It's a renewal of a cycle. It's a new beginning. I know we have heard over the years, oh, this is a new beginning, especially in trade services. You hear, this is a year for growth, this is a year. No, but you see, if you don't study astrology, and this is something that, you know, for years, me being in church, me being in religion, I ignored. Totally ignored, not realizing that the first chapter of the book says that these entities in the sky was there for times and for seasons. They were there to signify and mark the start and the ending, the progression of times and seasons. If you look at all of the different stories within the Bible, allegorical stories that is speaking of the psychology and development of the human race and man, you would realize that they always mark significant dates and times with patterns in the sky. They had different names for it back then, so they call it different things, but they were talking about planets. They were talking about star patterns, right? It was very few and in between, but if it is you really focus and pick up on it, you would see that it is there. It is there. And for the last 2 years, me doing this, me following the positioning of the planets, the positioning of the stars. Well, not the stars so much, but particularly the planets. All right, that's what you really focus on, the planetary alignments, where the planets are located, in which sign or zodiacal sign that they are. These things are not, yes, there is the quote unquote woo-woo pseudo spiritual side of it, where persons make a mock of it, and then there's a real energetic raw spiritual aspect of this. And if you get to understand that, your life goes, I call it easy mode. My life went on easy mode. And easy mode doesn't mean that challenges stop. It doesn't mean that trials and difficulties end. Alright? Even the great master, Jesus himself, though he had all the ability and capability of the divine within him, he was not able to go past the trials, the pains, the difficulties that you need to go through to go to the next levels of consciousness and spiritual evolution in this life, on this earth. This earth was set up as a training ground for souls. Your soul didn't come here to play games and to just laugh and haha. Your soul came here to develop. Earth is one of the most difficult places for a soul to be on, to develop and to grow and to flourish There are so many lessons that you learn here when you come on earth, that throughout the many cycles and times that we come here, by the time we move on, we are fully robust and planted and rooted to go on to the next level of our evolution spiritually. This is just, this is, it's not the beginning. It's like a middle place. It's not the beginning, but it's definitely not the end. But it's definitely one of the hardest. All right, so let's get into this transformation. Guys, you're going to experience so many different things in your life this year. Persons are going to experience so many different things in their life this year. You're going to go to places you never thought you were ever going to get to. You're gonna see people and engage with certain environments that you only dreamt of. You saw it on TV, or you heard of it, or you saw other persons experiencing it. You are going to experience it this year. The way that you operate with people, the way that you think about yourself in relation to society and the world, it is going to change and transform. This is not by choice, this is by design. The earth, the planetary alignments, the energies that are coming in, it is pushing the human race into this direction. And you would hear me say this and you'd be like, what is this guy talking about? You see, very rarely the people that are in a time, they are conscious of what time they are in. See, the Bible has mention of this clan within Israel. I think it was what was their names? Issachar. I think it was the sons of Issachar. And that they had the ability to know the times and the seasons. Yeah. You see, many persons do not understand or recognize the times that they are in and see the significance of it. There was a time when internet wasn't there, and I could imagine what was going on in the world at the time when internet was really coming on board. I mean, I was around, but I was too young to really understand it. So let's forget about that. Let's go back even further. Let's say electricity. Yeah, that's when it would have been a big shift. I mean, internet and stuff just speed up the mode of communication. But you see, when electricity came on, when we were able to move from using flame and sticks inside the house and candles to light up in the night, and you were able to flick a switch and a light bulb came on, and you could have plugged in something into the wall and power a microwave and a fridge to store your food for longer periods of time, so it wouldn't get spoiled. You see, when that came about, I can imagine how much controversy, how much speaking of evil, how much speaking of this is going to cause demise, how much craziness people had to talk about it. How much people did not realize how significant that moment was in time. That was going to revolutionize and change the way we did things for the rest of the human existence. When we rediscovered after electricity. Because that, based on, if you look back on evidence from past races, there is evidence from thousands and thousands of years ago that there was electrical sources. Now, in our time, we are going through a massive surge in consciousness, a massive surge in a human being's ability to understand itself. More and more persons every day I come onto my platform, and it overjoys me. I feel so ecstatic when I see persons. This is interesting. Okay. When I see persons mentioning and speaking of freedom, being free, choosing themselves first, overcoming the adversity of societal dogmas and traditions and mindsets, recognizing and realizing that for change to occur, they first need to change the way they see themselves, change the way that they operate towards themselves, change how they love themselves and how they show up for themselves in the world. But yet to do it anyways. Do what anyways? Do the thing that you're afraid of. Do it anyway. You're afraid, but do it anyway. You fell down, but get up and do it anyway. They told you can't do it anyway. You don't feel that you're strong enough to do it anyway. You don't feel like if it is something that you're capable of doing, do it anyway. You don't feel that it's something that would make a difference in the life of others, but you feel like you should do it anyway. Guys, whatever it is that you are feeling deep within yourself, whatever you feel moved or called to do, do it anyway. I'm not saying it's going to be easy. I'm not saying that it's going to be something that it'll be a walk in the park. And most likely, the thing that you feel to do, you're going to feel a ball in your stomach, in the pit of your stomach, like it's going to tell you, hey, I don't know if I can do this, I don't know if I can make this, I don't know if I can make this happen. Do it anyway. If everything in your life looks like if it is working against you, and everything seems as if it is not going to be a possibility for this thing to happen, do it anyway. Just stay consistent. Listen, where I'm at right now, more than 10 years ago, me looking into the future in my mind's eye, asking myself where I want to be. I mean, there was no specifics in terms of location, locality, process. I just knew what I wanted to experience, and a lot of the times when I give recommendations to persons on how to create the reality or how to get to the space that they want, it's not necessarily to focus on the thing itself. It is a focus on the feeling. Feeling is a secret. The feeling of peace, the feeling of calm, the feeling of joy. Right? A peace that surpasses of all understanding. The feeling of relief that everything is working out. You see, if you hold on to that feeling, wherever you end up, whatever comes into your life, it will bring that feeling to you. And you would be at peace with it because that's what you wanted. But you see, if it is, let's say, you want a specific, just a car. Let's go simple. You want a car. And you're focused on the specifics of the car. Yes, if you do that, you would. Yeah, you would. Because imagination creates reality. So you would create the reality of getting that specific car if you focus on it. However, I have heard stories of persons who have bought brand new cars, and those vehicles had problems from the jump. They had some manufacturer fault that was bringing difficulties after difficulties and costs them way more than they expected after getting the car that they actually wanted. And then there are persons who imagine just having the ease of transportation. The peace of knowing that they can get up in the morning and jump in their car and it will take them to where they need to go, hassle-free. That it will not cause them much to do what they need to do on a daily basis, and the car is efficient and effective. And those persons get a car, and that car does exactly that for them, because they focused on the feeling the car would bring for them rather than on the car itself. So what I'm saying is, this year, don't focus too much on the specifics. Focus on what brings you peace. Focus on what brings you joy. Focus on what brings you happiness. Focus on what brings more love into your life. Not love from the external, but love from yourself. What makes you love yourself more? You know, walking away from that relationship, walking away from that job, walking away from the thing that is sucking and draining your energy. Learning to let go faster. I am looking at myself and I'm saying to myself, I say, you know, bro, you have to learn to let go things faster. Last year I learned to let go a lot. I let go a lot of things last year. Yeah. But this year I said to myself, you know what? I need to do that faster. There's times when I was letting go, but it's like you're holding a pan, and instead of dropping the pan, but because it's full of food, you're trying to bear the pain until you can press it down securely. It's like that's how some of the things I was dealing with I did. You know, I took my time to let it go, and I suffered more than I needed to suffer. I felt more pain than I needed to feel. I tried to convince too much in certain situations when I just needed to let it go. So this is a year that, if it is just any residue of things that you didn't let go, it's time to, I mean, every year again people say this, but energetically, you are being supported by the earth, by the sun, the moon, the planets that are surrounding us. It is supporting you letting go, and it is also supporting you starting new. There's a new energy, and I'm not saying people that's hearing this, I don't know, or in the replay, you can feel it. You can feel it in your spirit that there is something new, a breeze, something that speaks of change and transformation in your life, something that indicates that there is an end to that old cycle that has repeated itself year after year for the last, and I have to keep on saying 10 years, because honestly speaking, this, you know what I realized? This year, calendar-wise, Gregorian calendar-wise, from the 1st of January, not this year, my bad, 2025. 2025 was, if you look at your calendar, you can see this, the exact same year as 2014. From January 1st, 2025 to December 31st, January 2025, all the days were on the same day. Monday, Tuesday, the Christmas fell on the same day. The New Year's fell on the same day. And the next time it's going to happen is in 2036. That's going to happen where all the days, and so that's basically an 11-year cycle. So when I'm saying this, that is the end of a cycle, I'm saying like in a lot of ways, not just in your personal life, but in terms of society. Society has gone through the ringer. It has gone through the process of testing and trying. That's what we do as a race. You know, if you look back, you can see there are certain things that we no longer do it, because we realize it doesn't benefit us. It causes more chaos than progress. So there are certain things that people, the mass population, just wouldn't do. I know what one of those things, taking on other people. More and more persons are not taking other persons on. More and more persons are focusing on themselves. They're doing themselves. They're doing me. And nothing wrong with that. That's not selfish. You see, we were born into a world that taught us that if it is you took care of yourself, if you said no, if it is you decided to do what you wanted to do, that it meant that you were selfish. So you should have ignored yourself and felt bad about yourself attending an event or showing up to a place or location, even though it caused you hurt or harm. I remember one of my last jobs that I was working. I'm the type of person, I don't really smile much. I have basically a relaxed face and demeanor. This is basically me. I'll do it here. Most times my face is like that. And they had a meeting, and then persons were like, oh, you should smile more. And I'm like, why do I need to be smiling all the time? I say, is it interfering with you? Is it harming you? Is it hurting you? You know, how is that affecting you? Me just having my face in a relaxed mode. And then there was something, as I can't remember what it was. The point is, the statement was made that I should do this to make others feel comfortable. And my question was, so are you telling me that I should make myself uncomfortable so that you should be comfortable? And they said yes. And my response to that was, I have worked too hard to come to peace with who I am. I have worked too hard to let go of the belief that I need to please persons to be okay with myself for me to accept this answer. And I said I would not do it. I would rather leave. And then that erupted into something else that eventually the next day I was no longer with that work. It happened in a way that I was no longer there. But the point is, I had at that point become so grounded in myself, so rooted in myself, that I was not willing to compromise on my peace. I did not see where this was hurting anyone. They felt I should have laughed at jokes that wasn't funny to me. Why would I laugh at a joke that's not funny to me just to please you? I like dark humor. There's literally hundreds of pages that are dedicated to dark humor. I see thousands of comments on persons, from persons who enjoy dark humor in those things. Alright? And if you don't understand what dark humor is, then look, I don't have time to explain it right now. But it may sound cruel because it say the word dark, but if you understand that it's just a word that speaks yeah, I didn't want to go into explaining this because then after I'll take up time from the true message here. The point is, I'm not the only person that appreciates dark humor. And I'm sure there are persons who may be listening to this live. You can let me know in the comments if you appreciate dark humor. And I said that, and they find that was strange. And I said, okay, I don't find it strange that you laugh at the nonsense that you laugh at. Why it is that you find it strange that I laugh at dark humor? And I think what I came to realize is that I was accepting. I accept and I appreciate everyone for who they are, because you're a beautiful petal on a flower meant to glow and shine in your own color. You're a beautiful puzzle piece in a masterpiece of a puzzle. And every puzzle has its own place to fit into the whole. And I appreciate and accept you for that. But many persons haven't gotten to that place, and this year is a year that all of us need to start moving towards that. It might not happen in a year. But if we all do this, and if we all move towards this in this direction, I am sure within the next 5, 10, 15, 20 years, we are going to be so much more peaceful, so much more joyful, so much more liberated. Liberation doesn't come from policies. Liberation doesn't come from laws. Liberation comes when persons realize that you are free already. You are free to say what you want to say and not feel that you need to be condemned. And another person is free to hear what you have to say and allow you to say it and not be offended. Persons and people get offended too much for things that has nothing to do with them and is not affecting them directly. I have seen persons in public transportation argue and bicker over things that is not going to matter when they leave the bus. I've seen persons, even after they experience these things, go on and talk about it time and time again over the course of their day, being upset that it happened when it had nothing to do with them in the first place. If you focus on yourself, you won't have time to focus on what people are saying, what they're doing, how they're reacting, nothing like that. You will be focused on you. How you feel about yourself. What do you think about yourself? Do you appreciate yourself? There's this statement that has been pervading throughout the entirety of human history. From wise men to mystics to teachers. It says, man, know thyself. For if you know yourself, you will know the secrets of the universe. And I can tell you that over the last 3 years, when I've really started to delve into myself, go into myself, observe myself, learn my weaknesses and my strengths, Become more honest with myself to say, listen, no, you're fucking up right now. You're doing shit. Learning to say, you know what, you could do this better. Learning to say what, you know what, you tried your best and it's okay. Learning to say, you know what, it's always room for improvement and you did your best this time. Learning to understand that growth takes place slowly. Learning to understand that forgiveness is there for a reason. And mistakes wasn't an invention, it was something that was needed for us to get better over time. No one invented mistakes. Mistakes were always there to be made. We have been making mistakes since you were born. It's not something that you learn to do, it's something that's just there. So the way people behave, like if it is when someone makes a mistake, it's an uproar and it's something that they should be condemned for. It's nonsense. We need to get better at realizing that everyone makes mistakes. And if you have never made a mistake, well, I'm so happy for you. If you never tripped over and fall as a child, if you never touched something that you was not supposed to touch and you throw it down and break it, yes, Daniel, the more honest you are with yourself, the more honest you're going to be with others. The more honesty you're gonna want to see others experience as well. The more honest you are, you're gonna bring a light is gonna start shining from you. The others gonna see, and when they see, because you see, being honest is being truthful, and truth seeks truth, and the truth it indeed sets you free. Because as you find more truths, you realize that you don't need to hold on to the lies anymore. The lies that are the feeble structure that have us crumbling and falling all the time. Everybody knows the truth anyway. It's just that we choose to love the darkness. We choose to stay in the darkness. The scripture says it. Instead that we love the darkness. See, the light has come and the darkness chooses not to recognize it. The darkness tries to overcome, but it cannot overcome the light. And the more bright and the more truthful you become, is the more darkness shows up. Because the brighter the light, the darker the shadow. The year to be yourself. The year to be you. The year to recognize that you always were just you. But what happened is that your parents threw some of themselves on top of you. Your teachers, instructors, your mentors, your childhood friends, your siblings, your co-workers, your friends from down the block, that stranger you pass in the street, the barista, the cashier. So much persons place their cloaks and their clothes and their thoughts and their beliefs and their understandings on top of you that you don't even know which ones are yours anymore. You don't even know which one is your clothes to take up and put on. You don't even know what it feels like or what it means to be yourself anymore. You don't even understand or can't even comprehend how to have a pure thought that's not influenced by your past. You don't know what it feels like to be free. A slave, when he's free for the first time after many years, do not understand what freedom truly is. Can't comprehend the feeling of freedom. And that's why many slaves usually go back and live with their masters. That's why many men who have always been in prison do stop just to go back into prison, because it's more safe. It's more comfortable being trapped. Freedom is responsibility. Freedom means that you're responsible for your actions. And most persons don't want to be responsible for their actions. They want to blame somebody else. But this is a year to take responsibility for your actions. This is a year to take responsibility for your thoughts. This is a year to take responsibility for your emotions. This is a year to take responsibility for your actions, your thoughts, your beliefs, your mindset. Don't just accept something because you were born into it. There's so many persons. When I ask them, why do you believe what you believe in? They will say to me, because they told me so. Who is the they? And if you go back to them, you know what they would say? Because they told me so. So at which point in time would it be that because I know, because I went to find out? At which point would it be because I know, because it brings me peace? Not a peace that was told that you had to have and that you are on the surface feeling peace, but deep down you're feeling uncomfortable because you're not sure. No, it's a peace that's so far down that even if it is the longest anchor goes, it will not reach the bottom. That peace is rooted in the depths of the infinite. When it is you get to know your truth, the truth of self, and you understand that self is just one, experiencing itself in many forms of consciousness. And then you will truly understand the statement, I and the Father is one. You truly understand the statement, if you see me, you see the Father. Until that point, where you still believe what another person tells you, where it is you cannot comprehend looking outside what you were born into your society, into your family, into your nation, into your culture. These things, all of them are traps. Mind traps. I am still coming out of some of them. Matter of fact, I'm surprised sometimes when I break from one. I was like, wow, I did not realize I was still under the influence of some things. But you see, because I know that I am free, I continue to break through the limiting beliefs. I continue to break through the obstacles and the barriers that this world has placed to keep you trapped, to keep you sleeping, to keep you in a daze, to continue making you a consumer, to consume and to get and to take and to have, and not realize that you need nothing to be yourself because you are already you. You was always you. There was never a point in time you were never you. Nothing that is added, taken away, bolstered, increased, minus, decreased. Nothing can happen or occur with you to make you more or less of you. You will always be you. Even when your body decays, you will still be you. Before you came into the world, you were already you. This is the year for you to truly find who you are. Disconnect from everything else. Spend some time with you. Go into the forest. Go into the wilderness. Go on a beachside where there's no one else. And disconnect from all of the frequencies and the energies that are bombarding you constantly. And get to know what your own energy feels like. Because see, when you know what your energy feels like, then you can detect all other lies. Then you can see all of the other falsehoods. But until that time, you will never be able to figure it out. Because you see, when you make that step, spirit takes over. And you see, in English, our definition of spirit is so limited. We just think spirit is a non-physical entity. But no, spirit is more than that. Spirit is more than that. I don't even think I have the time to really go into depth to understand, to explain what spirit truly is. But spirit exists and it doesn't exist at the same time. It is neither here nor there. Spirit is the very thing that binds and fabricates the whole of this reality together and also keeps it apart. It is all and embodies all. you are spirit and you are not spirit at the same time. So only spirit can reveal certain things to you. Only spirit can call you to certain depths. Only spirit can bring you to the place of knowing who you truly are, which is knowing itself. When spirit knows itself is when you truly know who you are. This is the year to find you. This is the year to be you. This is the year to know you. This is a year to be free. Or at least to start a process. I started a process, give or take 3 years ago, now heading into 4th year. And my God, it has been a journey. A journey into myself and out of myself at the same time. A journey of understanding that lies can be so sweet that we don't want the bitter truth. But you have to consume it until the truth becomes sweet to you. Until your palate changes, until it becomes refined. And you appreciate the truth. Or I should say appreciate love it. Like the Rasta say, you appreciate love the truth. You gain inner standing, inner depth, inner knowledge, inner knowing. And then you see the flimsiness of the lies. You see the illusions. And then you see the persons who still are caught up and believe in the illusions. And you don't pity them. You have compassion. Because you understand that you were there. You understand that it's only a matter of time before they wake up as well. It's only a matter of time before they get to know. Before they realize, before they understand, before the circumstances come that breaks the foundation, that shatters the cornerstone, and that allows the scales to fall from their eyes. And then you no longer, yes, your physical eyes look at this outside world, but the inner eyes look at themselves. They begin to look at the plank in their own eye and they no longer look at the speck in the other. They begin to love themselves because they understand they can only love another as much as they love themselves. You can never love somebody more than you love yourself. They begin to appreciate and love everyone because they understand that they cannot claim to love God, which is themselves, and hate another, which is also themselves. When you understand that spirit is what have us alive, and spirit is in all and through all and with all. Thank you, Atto, from Nigeria. Blessings, my brother. Nathan Peria. Is that how you pronounce that? Pereira. Nathan, I'm glad that you resonate with this, my brother. It means that you are on the path. You are on the path of self-actualization and self-realization. Guys, let me see. I'm on for 38 minutes now. I'm going to wrap it up. I touched on the 3 points. The year for transformation. The year to do it anyway. The year to be yourself, to truly be yourself. Alright. Guys, I'm wearing my Gregson. My wife asked me if it was for promotion. I said, yeah, promotion. I'm wearing my Gregson merchandise. For those of you who want to know what Gregson is doing. Alright, I'm going to be doing some lives concerning it. This year, Gregson is going to blow up. Definitely, we started last year, October. Well, we launched, actually. So we didn't start, but we launched in October. And it has been an amazing ride so far. It has its challenges. You were led to this part from USC. Daniel, you were on from the beginning, my brother. Thank you. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your engagement on the live. It is appreciated. It is felt. Nathan, thank you for participating in the live. Otto, thank you for your engagement and the comments. I think I saw DD. I don't know if you're still on, but thank you for your comments. For all of you who are here still, I truly value your support. I am grateful that you take the time. You could have been scrolling. You could have chosen another live. You could have chosen to look at another platform, but you are here listening to what I'm saying. And I am humbled by that. Like I said, guys, Gregson Network. P, I don't know if you've seen it. I don't know if you guys seen it there. P exchange grew. P exchange grew. Right, revolutionizing the payment gateway, the banking system, revolutionizing this new digital economy we're going in, really leading the way in that. We are definitely here to shake things up. With that, my business partner, so for those of you in Africa, the co-founder of the companies across there, Mr. Gideon Granger, shout out to you. I don't know if you're going to see this live. I know he's busy across there, building in Kenya. He's in Kenya at the moment doing some work in Nairobi. He went across to KC, I think it's KC, the other day. I know that we're talking to persons in Ghana and Nigeria, so for those of you who might be interested in getting on board with that, and join our community from that side. I'm here in the Caribbean. Just came up from Suriname. Amazing trip, a very interesting country. Went French Guyana. I know there are persons in Guyana asking you to come there. We're looking into getting persons started up there so you can go across. St. Kitts is on. They're excited for us to come there. Yeah, so guys, if it is you, as I speak more this year, I'm going to talk more about Gregson on my lives. I'm going to do my best to do more lives, to be connected to you guys, to hear for your thoughts. Before I go, I'm going to give some time, because I know there's a lag here. Is there anyone on the live right now that want to ask me a particular question, or want to say anything, make a point? I'm going to give some time for that part of the life to catch up to you guys, so that you can let me know. All right then. So, I guess not. So, guys, this is Neal signing out for the first live of 2026. There's many more to come, many depths to dive, many heights to climb, many truths to be uncovered, discovered, and realized. We are here to build strong minds, stronger hearts, and to make freedom possible.